Hello fellow unicorns and welcome to another video. My name is Mina and I'm a professional manga teacher, and today we're going to learn how to draw mermaids in 5 different ways, and we will do so by getting inspired with 5 different animals from the ocean. So let's begin. In today's video, I will be focusing more on the more advanced tutorial about shaping your character into something that's going to fit a theme, and how to do concept art, and how to go through a thought process that goes with all of this. So, if you haven't seen my tutorials on drawing female bodies and faces, please click here because here are all the links to my in-depth tutorials and full lessons. So let's begin on the mermaids. Today's first mermaid is pretty generic one. This is a deliberate part on me because I wanted to draw the generic cutesy moe character that you see in every anime, and this is because we will be going into more elaborate things later, so I wanted to get this generic mermaid first. My first tip for you guys is when you're drawing a mermaid, try not to make their tails too short. The length of the tails is supposed to be at least as tall as the human part of the mermaid. And if you're wondering which type of pencil I'm using for inking, because I'm sure there will be many questions about this, I'm using Pilot Futayaku double-sided brush pen in black and gray ink, which is quite expensive, and it has a gray and a black color in it, so you can try googling for this and try to find something that's under $6, but I haven't been able. So let's get back to the mermaid. So I have based this mermaid's look on the picture you can see on the right, and this is the Japanese fighter fish, or a betta fish. Yes, I know that only male fishes in many species are decorative and pretty, so I will be kind of messing around with the genders, I guess, because I am using references from male fishes to draw female characters. And I will be using the look of the fish's fins and general overall look to bring the character more visually to this design. And of course, since these fishes are so elaborate, I will try to make the mermaid's design as elaborate as the fish on the picture. And the second picture is showing the same betta fish, but as an albino. Albino creatures are kind of a kink of mine, I guess, because I really love how they show the pure form of the creature. And this particular design for a fish or mermaid is quite, I guess it's quite regularly seen in anime, because these kind of fishes have very elaborate fins. They're all over the place. There are like huge dresses flowing around, and that's something that is, well, visually perfect for a tender and wonderful looking mermaid. So I decided to incorporate this fin look into some form of dress or a bow in her hair, and I wanted to give her a gentle look that will go with this. Some sort of a lettuce kind of shape is going on here also, because it's not it's not a fin look that's pretty smooth. It has ragged edges, so pay attention to little details and try to place them on your design as well. And I have been incorporating very heavy, very thick locks. You can also find a tutorial about locks in my playlist about tutorials, so you won't be able to tell me, oh, look at her, she's drawing all of this and not explaining a single thing. No, you have separate lessons and separate videos, and like full lessons, like half-hour lessons for anything you need on my channel, so make sure you subscribe. And of course, I want to incorporate your votes on something, you guys, and I wanted to give you a task. If you like a particular mermaid from this set of 5 mermaids, please vote on which mermaid I should be coloring, and maybe I will maybe color every one of them, but I want you guys to vote on which one you like the best and which one I should color the next, because next time when I do coloring I want to do a in-depth tutorial on coloring with watercolors and how to make your underwater scene as successful as possible. So the next mermaid is pretty unorthodox because it's inspired by a seahorse. And seahorses are my personal favorite animal from the underwater kingdom because of two things. First of all, because they don't have scales like regular fish do. They have armor, which is pretty awesome. And the second reason I love these creatures is because the males are the ones that are giving birth to the young. This is the only recorded, I think this is the only recorded species in the animal kingdom where males actually give birth to the babies, and this is why I decided to give this mermaid a really androgenic, like genderless look without any special like big breasts or something like that. I even decided to make her into a warrior type with a trident and armor all across her body, so that she has this awesome genderless look and to be like some sort of a actiony character. And if you guys are following with all of the different characters, I made sure that every mermaid I draw has a different personality, and it's almost like they are part of some underwater team of I don't know, evil fighting heroes or heroines or whatever you want to call them, like Sailor Moon or something like that, but just underwater. So I really like the design I made for these guys, and I hope you do too, and I hope maybe we can even give them some sort of a story and maybe even draw them more if you decide you like my designs on this. And of course, don't be afraid to think outside of the box. You can also try and draw a mermaid that's based on a shrimp or an octopus, like the Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Don't be just cooped up in a box and think only about fishes and fish-like creatures. You can also do nautical mammals and clams even. You can incorporate so many creatures from under the sea, which are many, and incorporate them to look like clothes on the mermaid, or anything that can look like an armor or a fancy dress, because mermaids are a representation of a beautiful underwater woman, but there are also underwater men, I guess, which I will be mentioning later on, where I will be giving you a task on giving me your vote on another thing. But next up is a mermaid that is going to be themed with an mysterious but venomous nature. And if you probably guessed it by the look of the fins, she is inspired by the dreaded poisonous, venomous, venomous, I guess, venomous lionfish. And lionfishes are known not to be deadly for humans, but can make you very painful and can sting very badly. So if you see one, run. And it's the same concept I wanted to incorporate into my character that is based on this animal. I have given her so many pointy spider-like fins and tentacles, well, tentacle-like shapes, so that she can look as threatening and as venomous as the creature she's based on. I even made like a 16th century collar like you see on queens from ancient portraits, and I made this collar and even a horn like on a unicorn, because the fish itself has this horn. on the picture. I don't know if that's just a fin that's like on the other side, but I figured why not? I figured just put this shape out here, think outside of the box, and implement anything that can be translated as a source of power or a symbol of power and authority, because this creature is supposed to be some sort of a queen of the sea, because it is a lionfish, so I guess it's something regal, it's something majestic, and she should look the part. Also, I decided to place a lot of the markings from the fish on the fins and on the lower part of the fish, because she needs to represent this type of fish as realistically as possible. And there are a lot of different details like spots and markings that can be translated later on into tattoos or tribal marks or battle marks. So you can reimagine all of these things that you see in an animal as a potential story for your character. You can turn her into a warrior queen, or you can turn her into an evil poisoning witch that is enchanting sailors and bringing them to their doom, and maybe turning them into like some sort of slaves or something. So you can just pick out while drawing, you can think of your character, where they live, how would they function, what would they do with their animal traits. Would they be some sort of a ruler, or maybe some sort of a servant, maybe some sort of a creature that helps other creatures. So you can read up on the initial material that represents this animal, and you can go and give it your own twist. And last but not least is the shark. I picked up a random menacing looking shark because I wanted this last mermaid to be a bit evil, to look a bit menacing, because the original story of mermaids was not as positive as today's mermaids or mermen. They were not as beautiful or as nice as they are portrayed now. The original story about mermaids actually told of beautiful, seductive females and horrendous, ugly males, but the beautiful females were the ones that would sing and enchant sailors and then sink their boats and drown them all. So the mermaids were always kind of representative of misfortune to the sailors, and this is probably why women weren't allowed aboard many ships during history, so maybe they thought they were mermaids in disguise. But as you can see, this shark in particular has beautiful fins, which I wanted to redesign and incorporate into her initial design. I wanted to bring all of these tiny details on the fins right there, because as you can see, the shark is pretty gray and the colors on it are not that interesting, so I needed to add on the shape and emphasize some of the parts on her to make her look more like an interesting character. And of course, I wanted her to have the same type of like cat eyes that this shark picture had. I wanted to incorporate sharp teeth and sharp ears, and I wanted to give it a small detail where one of the ears is a bit chipped off, like she's been in battle with, like, I don't know, other sharks or something like that. So you can clearly imagine that this type of a shark would live alone or not have many friends because they're so competitive and so mean, maybe even pulling pranks on other animals or something like that, mischievous maybe. But this is a pure predator, and that's how I wanted to describe this mermaid. And last but not least for this week's video is a question for you guys. So tell me, what would you like to see mermaid regarded for my next video? Do you want me to A, make a male counterpart for all of these mermaids, or B, make the guys from the free anime as mermen? Please leave the comments down below, and thank you guys so much. See you guys next time. And don't forget, for only $2 a month, you can download these in HD as well as almost 200 other sketches and downloads from my Patreon page. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to learn how to draw manga, check out my book Manga Crash Course, available in English, French, Serbian and Chinese.